I'm going to show you 5 outdated words that are used in the King James Version of the Bible that make no sense today. But first of all, I want to start off by saying that I believe that the King James Version is a good translation of the Bible. I'm not saying that it's a bad translation. I'm not saying that people shouldn't use it, but I'm just telling you why it's not my translation of preference, particularly for recommending to new Christians. Now, there are a number of words in the King James Version which was written over 400 years ago that are archaic and out of usage in today's English. And when someone's picking up that Bible and trying to read it and trying to understand the passages, there can be a lot of confusion. There might even be misinterpretation of those particular passages. Now, there are some people out there that are some of the most fanatical and divisive people, and it's a completely unnecessary movement, which is the King James-only, who believe that the King James Version is the inspired version, the inspired English version of the Scriptures. But this is nonsense. The English language didn't even arise until hundreds of years after the time of the New Testament, and it is the original Bible that is preserved. And we see this with the manuscripts that we have today, that we can know exactly what was in the original. Now, there are some reasons why people might choose modern translations. They might say that the modern translations have a broader and older range of manuscripts. They might even say that these are more accurate, which there would be a lot of debate around. One of the other reasons would be the advanced textual criticism methods that have developed over time that we have today for the modern translations. But I don't want to talk about any of that in this video. I'm just going to talk about how the King James Version includes words in it which are out of usage and archaic because it was written for people 400 years ago, not for people today. So let's get into it. Now, before we get to the 5 words, a common example of the outdated language is the usage of words like thou, thee, thy, and thine. Today, in modern language, you, your, and yours are now used universally for both singular and plural. This is just an example of the type of language in the King James Version. Now, the first word is charity. The King James meaning is love, especially in the sense of selfless love for others. We see this in 1 Corinthians 13:13. But the modern meaning for the word charity now typically means a donation to a good cause or the act of giving to the poor rather than love itself. The second word is suffer. The King James Version meaning of this word can be to allow or permit. For example, suffer the little children come unto me, we see in Matthew 19:14. The modern meaning, today suffer means to endure pain or hardship, which is quite different from its original sense of allow. The third word, incontinent. The King James Version meaning is lacking self-control, especially in sexual matters. For example, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, as we see in 2 Timothy 3:3. The modern usage today, incontinent refers to a lack of control over bodily functions, especially bladder or bowel control. The fourth word is quick. The King James Version means living or alive. For example, the quick and the dead means the living and the dead. We see this in 2 Timothy 4:1-5. The modern meaning, quick today, primarily means fast or speedy, whereas in the King James Version it's referred to being alive. The fifth word is cleave. The King James Version meaning is to adhere firmly, to cling or stick to. For example, and they twain shall become one flesh, wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. We see this in Matthew 19:5-6. The term cleave here means to stick or adhere. The modern meaning, today cleave often means to split apart or divide, which is the opposite of its original meaning. Whilst the King James Version is still a good translation of the Bible, it most certainly isn't the inspired English version of the Bible. I don't even believe that it's the best translation today. As I've shown from some of these words in the video, it was written to people 400 years ago. And the problem isn't even that there are some unfamiliar or difficult to understand words, because we see that in all translations, but it's that there are unnecessary words that are archaic and out of usage today because this translation was written to people 400 years ago, not intended for people today. So I'm going to put a list of 200 other words that are similar to the ones that I've discussed in this video. I'm going to put that in the pinned comment and in the description. If you want to see that, check it out. Would love to get your thoughts on this video. Leave your comments below and talk to you soon. God bless you, friends.